Hello students and welcome back to Edupedia World. My name is Shivam Mishra and I am a BTech from IIT BHU. Today we will be discussing JEE Advanced 2013 Chemistry Paper 2. The paper code which we are using is 3. So let us look at the questions one by one. Okay, so let's start with section 2. Section 2 contains the paragraph type of questions. In this section there are 4 paragraphs, each of which describes some theory or experiment or data is given. 8 questions relate to the 4 paragraphs, that means a total of 2 questions per paragraph. And for each of the question, only one of the 4 given options A, B, C or D will be correct. So let us look at the questions one by one. First we'll read the paragraph for question number 9 and 10. In this paragraph it says that this is out of inorganic chemistry, and it states that we have an aqueous solution of 2 inorganic salts, okay, which are treated with dilute HCl, and after this reaction we get a precipitate P and a filtrate Q. Let us try and represent this information on the next page in a systematic manner. So what do we have? Our starting point is 2 salts. We have 2 salts, okay, and then what we are doing? We are making them react with dilute hydrochloric acid, okay. What is happening from this reaction? From this reaction we are getting 2 compounds, P, which has been told to us is a precipitate, and a filtrate Q. What is meant by a filtrate over here? A filtrate over here means it is soluble, so I am representing it with aqueous, okay. This is the information which has been given in the first part of the question. Let us read the question further. It says that the precipitate P was found to dissolve in hot water. This is a very important hint, because if we look at the question now, if we go to the question, in the first question it says that the precipitate P contains, okay, the precipitate P contains. Now we have been given 4 options: Pb2+, Hg2+, Hg2+, and Ag+. These are the 4 options we have been given, and we all must be knowing that the compounds of lead, which are PbCl2 and PbBr2, both these compounds are soluble in hot water and insoluble in cold water. So obviously, since we are carrying out the reaction with dilute HCl, for P our option will be PbCl2. So that means that A will be the correct answer to question number 9. So we have done our first part, that is we have identified P, which I have represented by PbCl2. Okay, let us consider the question further. Let's see what more information has been given question. For Q it says that it remained unchanged when it was treated with H2S in a dilute mineral acid medium. However, when it was reacted with H2S in ammoniacal medium, it formed a precipitate R. So Q is unaffected by H2S in acidic medium, but in an ammoniacal medium it reacts with H2S to form a precipitate R, right? Further it says the precipitate R gave a colored solution S when treated with H2O2 in aqueous NaOH medium. Let us represent this information for Q. For Q it says that when it is reacted with H plus and H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide in an acidic medium, it has no effect. That means Q cannot be a group 2 cation, group 2 of the qualitative analysis. It cannot be a group 2 cation, okay. It says that on reaction with H2S in a medium of NH4OH, it forms a precipitate R, okay. So this R is a PPT over here, and it further says that this R gives a colored solution with H2O2 in NaOH medium. So this R over here is made to react with NaOH with H2O2, so it gives a solution S, which is a colored solution. Okay, this is the information which has been given. Let us look at the question. Question number 9 we have already answered. Let us come to question number 10. It says the colored solution S. You remember what S was? The one which was formed at the last, and we have been given some options. Okay, so first let us consider I am eliminating B straight away from the option. Why? Because it cannot be a group 2 cation. Cu2 plus, as we all know, is a group 2 cation. B is eliminated. Fine. Similarly, for Q, the option cannot be ferric sulfate. Why it can't be ferric sulfate? Because if we all know that ferric sulfate in presence of sulfide will form ferrous plus sulfur. So in this reaction will have some effect and you will get Fe2 plus if you carry out the reaction. I am writing it on the, let us consider it over here. Why I am saying it can't be ferric sulfate? Because if ferric sulfate, that is Fe2SO4 whole thrice, is made to react with H plus and H2S, this ferric will be reduced to Fe plus 2 and sulfide will be oxidized to sulfur, which will be a yellow PPT. Okay, so this reaction will have some effect on ferric sulfate. So that means that if we go back to the question, that is question number 10, that means your A is also eliminated, B is also eliminated. Now we are left with option C and option D. Okay, option C again can't be the case because it says that compound S, that is the final solution of S, is colored in nature, and we all know that all zinc salts are, zinc cation is always a colorless species. So option C can't also be there, which only leaves us with option D as the correct answer. What is the reaction which is going to take place over here is, the reaction which will take place is that your compound Q will be CrOH whole thrice. You must remember that this is from group 3 and these are precipitated as hydroxides in ammoniacal H2S solution, and this CrOH whole thrice is also, it must be known that it is amphoteric in nature. It is amphoteric in nature, so it will react with OH minus in presence of H2O2 and it will form a solution of a chromate Na2CrO4, which will be a yellow colored solution. So D will be the correct answer to this question. Thank you.